All right, so our theme today is inspired by a hobby of mine. I like to sew, kind of an old school hobby, but my mom sews, my grandmother sewed, and I was doing this flow the other day and started kind of feeling this idea of threading a needle. And not necessarily that I was like going through holes a lot or anything, but the concept of kind of like weaving throughout the class, like thinking of our movements as really intentional weavings, and at the end hopefully we'll have this kind of broader fabric of an integrated body. So like in sewing, you know, you cut up all the pieces and then you sew the seams together and you end up with, you know, a dress instead of a bunch of random fragments. So today we're going to work with this image, and as I said, it's not like we're doing threading motions the whole time, but we have a few. And also just think about this concept of kind of being intentional about where we're putting our limbs and different parts of our body to ultimately have a more kind of holistic experience of our physical structure. So with that, we can get started on our backs. I'm gonna head over to my mat, and I'll come back in about a few minutes to close our Zoom room. So lying on your back, you can bring the feet on the floor, knees up to the ceiling, and the legs are hip width distance apart, so they're not, you know, squeezed together. And then flex the palms, and you'll stretch the arms wide from the shoulders. So you're making a T position with the arms and flexing at the wrists. So like you were pressing either wall away from you. And as you're here, like for me, I already feel some intensity in the kind of underside of my arm. It's stretching, so maybe you notice that too. And take a big inhale and exhale, let it go. And then as you exhale, try to pull the front ribs down, and imagining you could pull them into the back of your body or down into the mat. So we're kind of creating some front and back compression there. And take a big inhale, let that expand the ribs out to the sides. And exhale, let those front ribs pull down into the floor. And we can bring the hands down by our sides. We'll start with our regular glute bridge here, lengthening the tailbone. Squeeze the glutes and go ahead and lift up that pelvis off the mat and letting some more students into class. So we're lifting that pelvis off the mat in a low bridge. Welcome people who just came in, happy to have you. And we're only about 6 inches off the mat. Feel that same sense of co-contraction in the front ribs, so like drawing into the back body, and then the strength in the back body as well. I'm giving you an option here, so if this version of bridge is great for you, you stick with it. Otherwise, we'll heel toe the left foot towards center a bit. You get a little bit more stability, and then lift the right knee over the hip, flexing the knee. So you're at kind of a 90-degree angle. Kind of a next option, if you want, you'll feel this left glute already really waking up. But we're going to start doing a little bit of a thread the needle movement. So we'll press this foot out, point the toe on a shallow diagonal, and then draw the knee back over the hip. So we're just oscillating between lengthen and point, and flex and bend. Lengthen and point, and flex and draw it in. And I want you to be honest with yourself and monitor if as you go to lengthen the right leg, it starts to dip your pelvis down. And if that's the case, you can either just straighten the leg vertical so that you don't dip, or just don't do this action. We'll lower the right foot, doing the opposite if you so choose, lifting that left knee over the hip. Let's take a moment, feel that right glute really ramp up. It's your main support in this moment. And then here we go, if you'd like. We'll lengthen and point this left leg and flex and bend. So as I'm doing this, I'm imagining this being a thread going right through a needle, kind of really precise and articulate with the leg. For those of you who just joined, our theme is threading the needle. So if you hear me saying stuff like that a lot, that's why. We'll do a couple more. Really get that right glute on. Keep the tailbone long. And then lower the left foot. Press the palms up to the ceiling. You can keep the hips up if you can and pull back on the right fingers. Open up that wrist. Take a big inhale. I'm going to lock or zoom. Exhale through the mouth. And then switch hands. So you'll press the left palm up to the ceiling. Pulling back with the right hand on those fingers. Big breath out. And then let the palms come down. We'll slowly lower through the spine and settle for a moment on your back. We'll move straight into our ab series here. I'm already warm, so the sweatshirt's off. Hopefully you are too. And abs, our feet will be on the floor today. As always, leave any option I offer that you don't like or that doesn't feel good. Interlace the hands behind the head, those elbows come up to the ceiling. Big inhale. Exhale, head and shoulder blades lift. We leverage the strength of our front body to pull us up rather than crank on the neck. And then keep the right foot anchored, left knee lifts over the hip, just like we did. Left foot lowers, inhale, head and shoulders lower. Exhale, using the front body, head and shoulders lift. Right knee flexes over the hip. Pull down in the front ribs, just like we did when we were laying on our backs. And that foot lowers, inhale, head and shoulders lower. Adding on, if you'd like, exhale, head and shoulder blades lift. We lift this left leg, flex the knee over the hip. And this time we're gonna add a twist to the left, so anchor from your center, you're really twisting, not from the elbows. Pause. And then stay up, move through center, we'll twist right. So we're trying to stay off the shoulder blades. It's hard, I'm with you. And then back to center, foot lowers, inhale, lower. That feels kind of like wringing out a sponge, but it's your core. Exhale, head and shoulder blades lift. And again, right knee lifts. If an option I'm giving you doesn't feel good, you dial it back. Twist to the right, really moving from the center. Feel that right oblique wake up. Trying to stay up, we move through center, twisting left. Back to center, foot lowers, inhale, lower. We've got one more add-on. As always, it's a take or leave. Exhale, head and shoulder blades lift. Really using upper abdominals to pull you up. Left knee lifts. We add our twist. This time our option is to straighten the elbows on the outside of the leg, straighten the left leg. Back to center, hands return, knee bends. Twist right, same thing. Extend arms, extend leg. Arms going to the right. Back to center, inhale, lower. Woo, that'll get you. Exhale, head and shoulder blades lift. Right knee comes over the hip. Optional add-ons, we twist right. Extend elbows and leg, arms are reaching to the right side. Move through center, hands return, knee bends. Twisting left, extend it all. Back to center, inhale, lower. Take a big inhale, let the arms come wide in that T again, pressing the palms out to the side, flexing at the wrists. And this already feels a bit more open for me. And then remember that image of pulling the front ribs into the floor. We'll come up and around into all fours here. So moving towards a quadruped, aligning the wrists under the shoulders and those knees under the hips. Bringing length to the spine and feeling that sense of the rib cage pulling up into your back body. So not letting it dip towards the floor. We'll anchor into the right shin and knee and lengthen this left leg behind us. Keep the pelvis neutral, so you can use a hand to check in there that you're not dipping. to one side. And then lift this left leg using the glute. Bend the knee. We'll do external first. We'll externally rotate. Imagine you're threading a needle. Extend that leg back in space. Keep it rotated. And then return to neutral. Bend the knee. We externally rotate at the hip. Pelvis doesn't move. Push that foot away like you were moving through this very clear target. Leg rotates back to neutral and bend that knee. We'll do one more. External rotation. Don't let this right hip sag to the right. Press the left foot back. Return that rotation to neutral and then bend the knee. We're gonna do internal rotation now. So internally rotate with that knee bent and we dip the knee down. So almost like you could tap the shin or the calf of the right leg. And then from here, keep this orientation. We stretch on the back left diagonal. So it's like moving from in by the knee out to the outer corner of the mat. Bend that knee, we dip and maybe tap the calf and press on that outer diagonal, really trying to keep the pelvis neutral here. Bend and tap, internal rotation, and extend. And it doesn't need to be high to feel a lot. One more time, bend and tap, and extend. And that left knee lowers. Take a little move side to side, rocking motion. And we'll go straight to the right. So first establish the length in the spine, the strength in the front body. Extend that right leg back. Check in with the pelvis, feel that it didn't move. Right glute activates and we lift the leg. Bend the knee, externally rotate the hip, right knee goes right. Keep the pelvis as is and press that foot long, or the leg long, extending the knee. Rotate through neutral, and we bend the knee. Externally rotate. So we're kind of making a circular motion here. Press that foot back, extend in external rotation, return to neutral, and bend the knee. Last time here. But you know what's coming, it's internal rotation next. We externally rotate, press that foot away, and back through neutral. Bend the knee, and we'll go straight for this internal rotation, kind of weaving feeling. So we internally rotate the hip. We maybe tap that knee somewhere towards the calf. Maybe you don't move much, that's fine. And then extend on the right diagonal. So you're moving slightly away from your body. Bend this knee, internal rotation. Keep the pelvis neutral. And extend. Back diagonal. Two more. Bend and pull it in. Extending out to the right. Last time here, that glute medius is really awake. Bend and tap and extend. And we'll bring the right knee under us. Lowering to the forearms, we'll just briefly touch in a dolphin here. So elbows are under the shoulders. If dolphin's not your jam, you keep the knees down. That's totally fine. Otherwise, you can tuck the toes. Exhale, push the forearms into the floor and lift the pelvis up high. You can elevate the knees, but they don't have to come straight. And those heels do not need to anchor to the floor. It's more about the lift and elevation over the shoulders than it is about length in the back of the leg. So we are using dolphin as a tool to really give us shoulder stability and strength here, and endurance. You can tread through one heel and then the other, trying to keep the weight in the arms as we just lower and lift one at a time. Let the head go. And then we'll lower to the knees, press up on the palms, and step our feet to the top of the mat, bending into a nice deep forward fold there. And just for a moment, I want you to let the torso go. So we're not going to keep this lengthened spine, but we're going to kind of waterfall over the legs. And feel as you do this, the shoulders kind of slump towards the ears and also towards the ground. So they're kind of loose feeling. So from here, we'll extend the back, but I want the motivation to be almost roll the shoulders back until you feel them click onto the ribs, and use that motion, that clicking, to extend the spine a little bit. So you feel that shoulder a little bit more supported and lifted on the back. And then inhale, we'll extend. This is a great time to start that playlist if you want to use it, and we'll get moving a little bit more. Inhale, arms lift forward and up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, keep those shoulders on the back. Right foot steps back, lower the knee, top of the foot. Inhale, rise. Half lunge here, half kneel. Hands come to heart center in prayer. And then just like we did on the floor, we press the palms wide, feeling the shoulder blades on the back and those ribs pulling back in space so that we're not flaring forward. Hands come to the mat, step back to plank, squeeze the glutes. Lower those knees and lower to the floor, nice and slow. Inhale, cobra. Pull the hands back on the mat. Reach that chest forward in space. Exhale, tuck the toes, down dog, lifting the pelvis up. Same principle as dolphin. We don't really care about forcing those heels to the floor. Right foot steps forward, left knee lowers, top of the foot. Inhale, rise, half kneel. Exhale, hands to heart center. And press those palms away in our wide stretch chest opener here. Squeezing that left glute at the same time. Hands plant in front of the right foot. Left foot steps in, exhale. Keeping that length in the spine, lifted shoulders. Inhale, rise, Tadasana. Exhale, hinge at the hips, hands plant. Left foot steps back, lower the knee, top of the foot, inhale, lift. Half kneel. Hands can come down by the side, and one at a time, roll the shoulders back. But as you do this, really think about the motion coming from this big shoulder blade on your back, rather than from the tip of the arm bone. Rolling one at a time. Above this nice stable pelvis. And hands plant, step back for plank. Glutes squeeze at the top there. Lower the knees. Keep this chest open as we lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Left foot steps forward, right knee lowers, top of the foot. Inhale, lift. Same thing here, no surprises. Right glute turns on, and one at a time, roll the shoulder. I almost like to imagine that my hand is like that this is one big piece of thread. So the motion happening at my shoulder blade right by my spine is also connected to what's happening all the way down my arm. So we're weaving the fabric of our bodies, if you will. And hands plant in front of the foot. Exhale, right foot steps in, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Continuing on here, exhale, hinge at the hips. Right foot steps back, we lower the knee, top of the foot. Inhale, lift. And exhale, hands plant either side of this foot or a little in front. Tuck the right toes. And we'll baby extend the legs, but I almost want it to feel more like the pelvis is lifting than the legs extending. You can keep the right heel off the floor. And reverse this, so we bend, right knee, left knee, tap that right knee down, push into the feet, and we lift the pelvis, bringing just slight extension into the legs. Right knee lowers, exhale, and lift, pressing into those feet. So we're moving between a low lunge here, a half kneel, and this pyramid position. Bending knee, both knees, tap that right knee, and ideally straighten the legs. As we do this, we keep these hands anchored on the floor. So maybe that means you only straighten a couple inches. That's totally fine. And right knee taps last time, and we extend to some degree. We'll slide the left leg back, three-legged down dog, and pause here. Bend the left knee, externally rotate the hip, opening the left knee out to the left. And then move through center and internally rotate that hip, maybe drawing it down towards the right knee. Lengthen that left leg again. Exhale, we'll step the left foot forward. Right knee lowers, open for a modified side plank. Left leg slides back and we're wading into this right hand and shin. Option to fly left leg up and maybe press the left palm up to the ceiling. We'll all step the left foot somewhere forward towards a half kneel. Left hand plants, return, three-legged down dog. Sweep that leg back. Feel your palms really anchored into the floor. Exhale, left foot steps forward, right knee lowers, modified side plank. So we'll move between these two positions. You can always have the left foot on the floor in your modified side plank. Left foot steps forward, left hand lands, three-legged down dog. So kind of weaving our way through this pattern. Exhale, left foot steps forward, right knee lowers. Lying back, modified side plank. Maybe that left palm presses up. And we'll pause here this time. So if you have that leg on the floor, you keep it there. If the leg is lifted and you want a little bit more, we'll add a little pulse up and down of the left leg. Really motoring into the outer left hip here. Won't do too many because we've done this already so far and we've got a lot in store. So we'll pause if you're pulsing. Everyone step the left foot forward again. Tuck the right toes, ground the heel, warrior variation. So we're opening to the right side. Left forearm comes on the left thigh, and this right arm will come over the ear. So these legs are in a warrior two position. Feeling just some nice, lovely stretch all the way down the right side here. Big inhale, and exhale. Now a little variation, we'll bring the right palm, press it up to the ceiling, and almost feel like you're getting a sense of lift from that right palm. So it's easy in this position to sag the torso down, but with this palm up, it almost biases your energy up. One more inhale. As you exhale, we'll turn to the front of the mat, turn on the right toes, come to tilted crescent. So almost let this right pelvis point meet the left hand. And you can kind of check in with your pelvis that way. Imagining you have a diagonal from the head to the heel. We'll reach the right arm along the ear and the left arm back along the hip. Big inhale, ground those feet into the floor, squeeze the sits bones, and exhale, we'll add swings here. So left arm comes forward, right arm back, and switch. And I want you to feel the stability of the base as we get a lot of motion going up top. Two more, right arm forward, left arm, right arm, left arm, and hands plant, step back for plank. Pause, squeeze those glutes at the top. Drawing some knee taps, we'll lower the knees, just tap them, and extend again. If this is too much, you stick on your knees. Lower those knees, and extend. Imagining, lower your knee. As you extend like you were pressing thread through a needle, lower those knees, and extend, and this time we'll lower all the way to the floor. Fingertips come off the mat, tent the hands, elbows lifting up to the ceiling. Big inhale, cobra chest, pulling that chest forward in space. Really root the pubic bone down. You can even let the chin go if you'd like, tucking it towards the chest. Exhale, plant those hands, lift through down dog. We'll pause for a moment. Big inhale, exhale, let go. And just walk your feet towards the top of the mat, but really feel that your hands are gonna stay rooted. So maybe you step halfway before you feel like the hands need to come up. That's fine. And then sit back, flexing at the hips. Remember that sensation. We'll let the torso fall again as a kind of example. Really waterfalling over the legs here. And then one at a time, we'll roll the shoulders back onto the ribs, find some length in the spine, fly the arms back by the hips. So really feel the ribs like pinned onto the rib cage here. Openness of the chest, but strength in the front ribs. We're still kind of pulling them into the back. And then option to interlace the hands at the sacrum, bending the elbows. But if this hurts your shoulders at all, keep with the fly back. On the count of 3, we'll release and rise. So we'll take a 1, 2, 3. Exhale, release, swing it up. Inhale, and other side. Exhale, hinge at the hips, hands plant. Left foot steps back, lower the knee, top of the foot. Inhale, lift. Feel your length here. Maybe some creases have been ironed out. And then hands plant, moving towards that pyramid. Left toes tuck. Lifting the pelvis first. Straightening the knees only to the degree you can, keeping the back long and the hands planted. And lower, bending both knees, tap the left, and extend. Moving between these two shapes or sensations, I would say, in your own time. Trying to monitor that the pelvis is not deviating as you move between bent and straight. Again, we're not trying to ground the left heel at all here. Just starting to really feel the awakening of the back chain, especially down the right leg. We'll do 2 more. And then when you reach the top the second time, weight into the hands. Right leg slides back, 3-legged down dog. Bend that knee, open up the hip, external rotation. Right knee goes right. Move through center, internal rotation. Knee is going maybe towards the left, and then you can try to tap it down by that left knee. Extend the leg back in space, thread that needle. And here we go, moving to side plank. Exhale, right foot steps forward, left knee lowers. Modified side plank, that right leg reaches back. We'll press the right palm up to the ceiling. Option to fly the leg. Right foot steps forward, back towards half kneel, hand plants, 3-legged down dog. Exhale, step it forward, left knee lowers, modified side plank. Right palm pressing up to the ceiling. Gaze can stay down towards the floor. Right foot steps forward, hand plants, 3-legged down dog. And exhale, step it forward. We'll pause this time. In our modified side plank, remembering your leg can stay down here. Adding an option though to add a pulse to the right leg. Keep this outer left hip working to kind of lift you out. Don't let that pelvis tip here. Sorry, I had a bubble in my throat. And then from here, we'll step the right foot forward, heading to warrior variation. Left toes tuck, ground the left heel, open to the left side of the mat, right forearm to thigh, left arm over the ear. Keep drawing your pelvis towards the front leg, towards the right leg, rather than letting it swing back in space. It's going to give you a more effective stretch down the side. And then option here, press the left palm up to the ceiling, getting a little bit of lift from this nice strong anchor of the base. Big inhale. Exhale, turning to the front of the mat for tilted crescent. Left pelvic point meets the right hand. Left arm reaches along the ear. Feel both glutes turn on, and this right arm flies back by the hip. Strong and stable base here. We're hinging in this right hip. And switch arms, swinging down and forward, and switch. It's like kind of a Tarzan move, I guess. Or I guess that would be more of a chimpanzee or gorilla. Then switch. Really feeling the shoulder blades moving on the back here. We'll do 2 more, left arm forward, right arm forward. And then hands plant, step back for plank, pause. We have our knee taps here. Again, option to just be on the knees and hold your plank, or off the knees. Knees tuck or knees bend and touch the floor, and extend. And bend, extend, 2 more, bend, extend, 1 more, bend, extend, and we lower the knees and go all the way to the floor. Fingertips wide for this cobra, elbows pointing up, and we pull the shoulder blades towards the spine, lengthen that tailbone, squeezing those glutes. Option to release the chin towards the chest, the throat. And hands plant, toes tuck, down dog. Big inhale here. Exhale. Keep the hands planted, long spine. Step forward to some degree with the right foot and the left foot, and then sit back in the hips. Let the torso fall forward, those shoulders kind of cascading to the floor. And then rolling left shoulder and right shoulder, we lengthen the spine, fly those arms back. Make sure those front ribs aren't flaring towards the thighs. And final option to interlace the fingers at the sacrum. But really make this happen from the shoulder blades rather than by cranking the arms back. 1 more breath, big inhale. On our exhale, we swing and release. Come to stand. Inhale at the top. Exhale, hinge at the hips, hands plant. We step back for plank. Lower the knees, we'll lower all the way to the floor. Keep those glutes on. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. You can walk the feet forward a bit. We'll rise on the toes. Exhale, bend the knees. Walk or hop forward. And inhale, lift. Exhale, hinge at the hips, hands plant. Step back for plank. You can always go straight to down dog if you don't want this. Knees lower and lower to the floor or lower halfway. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Walk those feet in a touch. Big inhale. Exhale, bend the knees. Keep weight in the hands and walk or hop forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hinge at the hips. So last time, you can move to down dog or go to plank. Lower knees or lower halfway. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Walk those feet in a touch to try to help that weight anchor into the hands. And we'll lift the left leg, 3-legged down dog. Exhale, step the foot forward, ground the right heel. We've been here before, warrior 2. Arms reaching side to side. So our legs have been here, but our torso before was in our warrior variation. Big inhale, almost imagining your feet were like screwing into the floor, screwing out. And you'll feel some extra lift in the pelvic floor. Exhale, reverse your warrior, left arm over the ear. Bit of choreography here along with our theme. We'll reach the left arm on this diagonal. You might want to watch the first time. And then scoop the arm behind you, under you, and flip it for your warrior variation. So if you didn't get that, we're going to do it again. It's okay. Meet me in the warrior variation. Left forearm to thigh. And inhale through center. Exhale, reverse. Totally normal. Here we go, second time with the arm. Left arm kind of Cuts on this diagonal, down. We scoop back, flip the palm and the forearm, and lower that forearm for warrior variation. Inhale through center, reverse it. This is our last time. I just think this feels good, so that's why I'm integrating it here. Left arm comes on that diagonal, down towards the leg. We scoop back, flip the palm forward, warrior variation. I hope that felt fun for you. And if not, no sweat. We'll turn towards our mat, plant the right hand, open up for a twisted crescent here. Left arm flying towards the sky. You can always lower the right knee if that does not feel good or if your pelvis is moving. Inhale here. Option exhale will curve the left arm under the thigh and slightly straighten the left leg. Return the bend to left leg, open the left arm. Exhale, thread the leg under, grip the leg and straighten it. Bend that knee, open up the left arm. 2 more, exhale, bend and grab. Extend that knee, bend the knee, and we open to the sky. Exhale, thread the arm under, we extend. Keeping neutral pelvis, long spine. I know, it's like never ending. And we open to the sky. We'll all turn for a right side plank. You can also make this modified if you want to bring the right knee to the floor. Otherwise, come to the outer edge of the right leg and stack the left foot. We'll press this left palm up to the sky. Envision the connection between right palm and left palm. And third option here, you can scoop the left toes behind you, reach the left arm over the ear for a dancer's table. If you didn't take dancer's table, step the left feet behind you, and then we're all gonna lower onto our butts. So we're coming slightly off the mat, right leg is extended, left leg is bent. We'll externally rotate the right leg, bend that knee in towards you, so you're kind of in a bit of a pretzel. And then shift onto the right hand, coming to quadruped. So knees and wrists land, palms land rather, and then lower to your forearms, tuck the toes. We'll lift into our dolphin. If you hated that variation, next time we do that, you can go straight to quadruped. If you didn't like that little leave the leg thing, yogi's choice. We'll extend the left leg back, point the toes, and then exhale, bend that knee towards you, moving towards the chest. Extend it long on the diagonal, neutral pelvis. Exhale, bend the knee towards you. And extend and straighten. And bend that foot towards you. We'll press through the palms, lift the elbows, left foot steps forward, shift into it, fly for an airplane. So you can kind of pause in a standing split here. And once you feel grounded in the left leg, fly those arms back in space. Squeezing this left glute, you want to micro bend in the left knee. And you'll really almost envision your right sits bone and your left sits bone, the base of the pelvis, pulling towards each other. Deepen the bend in the left knee. We'll pull the right knee up towards our chest. Hands come to heart center, coming towards stork. And our option as we get here is to add a bit of a twist to the right. It's kind of a balance trick, so be careful. Keeping the torso twisted to the right, we'll step the right foot back and turn for a side lunge, bending into the right knee and hip. And you can add a flex of the left foot if that feels okay. So pulling up the toes and the ball of the foot, but that heel stays grounded. Big breath in, exhale, let it go. And we'll walk the hands back to the front of the mat, plant them, step back for down dog. Other side here, right leg lifts, three-legged down dog, neutral pelvis. Exhale, right foot steps forward. left heel grounds, warrior two. So we're facing the opposite side of the mat here. Big inhale. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Right arm comes over the ear. Moving through this kind of threaded thing we've got going. Right arm reaches on the diagonal, scooping back behind you, and then flipping the palm for warrior variation. Forearm meets the thigh. If you hate that or it's frustrating you, let it go. It does not matter. So just move between these two poses in any way that feels good. Inhale through center, exhale, reverse. Right arm is over. We slice the arm to the downward diagonal, scoop it back, flip the palm, and left arm comes over. Inhale through center, just one more time. Reverse it. Slicing on the downward diagonal, scoop the right arm back, flip it forward, and left arm over the ear. Turning to the front of the mat, left hand plants, we're up on the left toes, twisted crescent. Open this right arm, almost leaning back into the right shoulder blade. Exhale, right arm threads under the thigh. We press into the feet and straighten the leg. If you can keep the spine long, bend that knee, open it up. Exhale, thread the arm under, squeeze the leg and extend. Rebend, we've got just two more. Exhale, thread it under. Straighten that leg to some degree. Bend the knee and open. And last time here, thread the arm under, extend that leg, and bend the knee and we open. Now we're moving towards our side plank variation. You can make it modified by landing the left shin on the mat or stack onto the outer edge of the left foot for side plank. Third option is this dancer's table. We hop the right toes behind, slightly open the pelvis towards the ceiling, just slightly. Right arm reaches over the ear. Big inhale, exhale, let it go. And if you'd like, if you didn't take dancer's table, slide those right feet behind you, sit the hips down, left leg stays long, and then we curl the left leg around the right foot. I'm at the wall, but that's okay. And shift towards a quadruped facing the front of the mat. So knees land, hands land, forearms lower, tuck those toes, dolphin. Of course, you can always keep the knees down. We'll extend the right leg long, point the toes. Exhale, bend the knee, pull it towards you, and extend. And exhale, bend, draw that thigh towards you, and extend. And bend, and extend. Lower the right toes. We'll press through the palms, lift the elbows, down dog, and step the right foot forward. Shifting towards airplane, but pausing in that standing L shape to kind of get your base here. And then flying the hands when you're ready. You could stay in the standing L. You don't even have to move towards this airplane. Feeling both halves of your pelvis even here. The ribs are still pulling into the back. Shoulders are on the back. And then exhale, we bend the right knee more, draw the left knee up towards us for stork. Hands to heart center in prayer. Option to add the twist to the left, just a couple inches. Don't let that pelvis move on you. And we'll all step towards side lunge. So stepping left foot back, turning to the side, bend into that knee and hip. Shifting back, protecting our knee by not letting it move forward. And then option to flex those right toes up towards the ceiling. If that does not feel good, no pressure. Big inhale and exhale. We'll walk the hands forward, hands plant, step the left foot in, and inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. And close the eyes and just sense what's going on. You feel more open. My hips feel much warmer. So just kind of take a brief inventory. And our stream today is shorter, it's a little fast, so we'll just move into that in a couple moments. But take a moment to check in and center before we put these two sequences together. And when you're ready, we'll flutter those eyes open. Take a big inhale. Reach those arms overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips, hands plant. Right foot steps back, lower the knee. Inhale, lift, half lunge. Exhale, hands plant. We move straight to three-legged down dog. Left leg swings back, pause. Exhale, step the foot forward. Right knee lowers to the floor, modified side plank. Go step that left foot back, slide it rather. Option to fly the leg. Moving to warrior variation, right foot steps forward. It's the left. Tuck the right toes, and we open, left forearm coming to thigh. Right arm over the ear. Language difficulties today, but we're moving through it. Returning to the front of the mat, fingers land, right knee lowers. Inhale, lift, half kneel. Exhale, hands plant, three-legged down dog. Left leg swings back. And exhale, step the foot forward, right knee lowers, modified side plank. Your version here. Feel how much more stable this feels. And heading to warrior variation. Left foot steps forward, right toes tuck. Ground that heel and open to the side. Just one more time here. Come to those fingertips, right knee lowers, half kneel. Turn those glutes on. Exhale, hands plant. Three-legged down dog. Left foot steps forward, right knee lowers. Modified side plank. Left foot steps forward, warrior variation. Opening to the right. Reaching that right arm over. And the hands plant at the front of the mat. Step back for plank. We'll do 2 knee taps this time, nice and quick. Knees lower and lift, and lower and lift. We lower all the way to the floor. And inhale, take a cobra, pulling that chest forward, or you can go for a locust, flying the arms back. And the legs lift off the floor for locust. Feeling those glutes. Stabilize the pelvis here. Exhale, hands plant, lift into down dog. And left leg lifts, three-legged down dog. Step the left foot forward, open warrior two. We've been here before, just a moment ago. Exhale, reverse. Option to add this weaving arm, scooping left arm back and around. Warrior variation. Inhale through center. Reverse. Left arm slices down, back and around. And you just leave that if you don't like it. One more time, inhale. Exhale, reverse. Scoop the arm back, palm up. Warrior variation. And right hand lands coming directly into our side plank or dancer's table if you liked that variation. Feeling length through the ribs here, squeezing the glutes. And we'll all step the left foot forward to some degree, move through standing L, airplane eventually. Exhale, right knee to chest, hands to heart center. Add your twist to the right. And step back, side lunge, opening to the right side. Big inhale. Exhale, walk the hands back to the front. Move through your standing L and lift for airplane. Right knee comes to the chest, hands to prayer, stork pose. Twisting right from the rib cage and stepping back, side lunge. Bending into right knee and hip. Big inhale. Exhale through the mouth. And we'll walk the hands to the front of the mat. Step back for down dog. Let's go straight to the other side. So this right foot steps forward, left knee lowers. Inhale, lift, half kneel. Exhale, hands plant. Right leg lifts, three-legged down dog. Step the right foot forward, left knee lowers, fly it back, modified side plank. You can keep the foot on the floor. And warrior variation. Right foot steps forward, tap the back toes, right forearm to thigh. Fingertips come to the front of the mat, left knee lowers, inhale, lift. Half kneel. Hands plant, right leg, three-legged down dog. Right foot steps forward, left knee lowers, fly it back, modified side plank. And warrior variation. Right foot steps forward, opening to the left, ground that left heel. Last time, fingertips to the mat, left knee lowers, inhale, lift. Squeeze the glutes there. Hands plant, three-legged down dog. Right foot steps forward, left knee lowers, modified side plank. Last time, right foot steps forward, tuck those toes, warrior variation. Right forearm to thigh. Big inhale and exhale. Turn to the front of the mat, hands plant, plank, squeeze the glutes. Then we got two knee taps. Lower and extend, and bend and extend. And we'll lower all the way to the floor. Inhale, cobra or locust. You can also put a bow in here if you have that in your practice. Squeeze the glutes, feel some length in the front of the hips. Exhale, plant the hands, down dog. Right leg lifts, three-legged down dog. Exhale, step the foot forward, warrior two. Left heel grounds. Arms reach wide. Inhale. Exhale, reverse right arm over the ear. Weaving here, right arm slices back, scooping behind you, and then palm comes up, forearm to the thigh. Inhale through center. Exhale, reverse. Right arm slices down. We scoop back. Palm reaches forward. Forearm to thigh. Inhale. And exhale, reverse. Slice it back. Scoop it back. Palm forward. Warrior variation. Turning on the left toes, left hand plants. Heading straight to our side plank variation or dancer's table. You could also do your modified side plank. Big inhale. And we'll all exhale. Step the right foot forward. Move through our standing L. Squeeze the right glute here. Feel neutral pelvis. Rise to airplane. Exhale, left knee to chest, hands to heart center, stork. From the center, twisting to the left. And step the left foot back, side lunge, opening to the left side of the mat. Walk the hands forward, standing L. Fly to airplane. Bending deeply in the right knee, left knee comes to chest. Ooh, I fell. Hands to heart center. Exhale, twisting left. Stepping left foot back, side lunge here. And we'll walk the fingertips forward. Let the left knee lower, so you're in kind of a longer low lunge. And then you can rise, squeezing the glute, lengthening tailbone to floor. Feel some opening in the front of the hip. Or you can plant the left hand, reach back for the right foot, coming towards a lizard. Both variations are like a lizard. We did a lot of hip flexion today, so it's always important to get some opening in the muscles in addition to the flexion. But fun fact, you can't have hip extension if your flexion is restricted. So it's, you'll notice we always do flexion in class, and that's a huge reason why. If you've got the toes held, you can let those go just gently. Tuck them, plant the right hand, and we'll step back through down dog. Left foot steps forward, right knee lowers, and you've got your options. You can have the elevated, squeezing the right glute to really open the front of the hip. Or right hand plants, reaching for the right toes of the left hand. Feeling the left half of the pelvis still anchored in a neutral position. And if you grab those toes, you can gently release. We'll sweep this left knee down to the floor and swing the shins out to one side and turn onto our butts. Coming down onto our backs in any way that's comfortable for you. We'll let the feet land on the mat. And do a quick figure four here, just a few breaths. We'll cross the left ankle over the right thigh, letting that knee and hip externally rotate. Take a big inhale. Exhale, use your core, and we'll draw the right thigh towards you. No hands. Not cranking on this left leg, but just using the strength of the core and that kind of consolidation to open up. Maybe it's like, the sewing analogy would be like using a seam ripper on a seam that's kind of clunked up. Breathing here. And then let that right foot lower, left foot lowers, and we switch. So right ankle crosses over the left thigh. Take a moment, sense what your pelvis is doing. Don't force that right knee. And then use your core strength. We'll draw the thigh towards you, the left thigh towards you, and feel that opening in the outer right hip. You'll notice the right hip doesn't need to be fully open to really feel a strong stretch. And with the left foot lower, we'll walk the feet wide on the mat, let the knees fall into center. Let those arms fall to the floor, palms open up. And we'll head into Shavasana. You can either stay in this position or lengthen one leg at a time long. But notice what kind of preserves this sense of integration that we've gained over the course of the last hour. If you'd like to stay longer in your Shavasana, you can go ahead and turn the video off or mute the computer. If you're ready to move, take a big inhale. And then as you exhale, bring your hands to heart center in prayer. Feel the weight of the palms there, or the base of the thumbs. Big inhale. And exhale, press the palms wide out from the shoulders. This position we did a few times today. Feel where things are more open. Things are maybe feeling more seamless. And then as you take your next exhale, slowly, keeping your eyes closed, make your way to a seat. Anything that's comfortable. And we'll just close class together. Savoring these, final moments of being internal before we head out to finish off our day. Remembering that this practice of movement is almost like weaving pieces of ourselves together in more efficient ways so that we're a more integrated system. Creating this tapestry with our bodies day by day over time. It's like the ultimate sewing project of our lives. And bring the hands to heart center. Take a big inhale. Exhale. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you feel great in your body and that you can carry that into the rest of the evening. Namaste. Thanks, everybody. I will stick around for questions. Otherwise, I'm here again on Thursday. Hope you have a wonderful night. And I'll see you soon.